When producers of the Traitors sent out their rallying call for new contestants following the success of last year's show, it was a no-brainer for vet nurse Evie. The 29-year-old is one of 3 Scots taking part in Season 2 of the BBC series hosted by Claudia Winkleman, which launches on Wednesday night. Attracting a huge following when it became the surprise smash hit TV event of 2022, the programme also shone a spotlight on Ardos Castle in the Highlands, where the nail-biting game of detection, backstabbing and trust is filmed. Evie had enjoyed Season 1 of the programme and, keen to throw her own bid in for a share of the £120,000 cash prize, she was also inspired to apply because of the proximity of the historic castle to her Inverness home. She said, "I'd watched the previous series before and everyone I know has watched it and loved it as well. It was a real topic of conversation at work, and it's filmed 30 minutes up the road." But the easiness of her commute wasn't the only thing that appealed to Evie about applying for the show, as she went on to reveal it's part of her bucket list before she turns 30. She said, "I'm 29, so it's the last year of my 20s and I think I may be having a bit of an existential crisis about turning 30, just overthinking it a bit too much. When I turned 29, I said to myself, I'm going to do 30 things before I'm 30 that I've always wanted to do. I ran the Edinburgh Marathon this year, I've visited Scottish Islands and I do a lot of hiking. Working my way through my list, I still had 2 more things to complete. I'd left 2 free to see what would happen, see if something came up. If I decided on something halfway through the year that I wanted to do, then I'd do it. When I had 1 remaining, the Traitors Series 2 came around and I said, okay, that's going to be my last thing. That's going to be my final 30 before 30. It's a much-anticipated return for the show, which is based on an original idea from the Netherlands and now has a US version, also filmed at Ardos Castle and hosted by Scots star Alan Cummings. Loyal fans will know that hidden amongst the new group of participants are a bunch of traitors, whose job is to secretly murder a player every night, without getting caught. It's up to the others, the faithfuls, to try to detect who the traitors are, and banish them from the game, before they become their next victim. For the lucky ones who survive to the end, they have the chance of winning that life-changing cash. But if a traitor remains undetected, they'll steal all the money. Evie admits she's hoping to be a traitor because it's not what people would expect of her, and she also revealed the challenges she faces at work have helped prepare her for the battle. She explained, "I want to be a traitor. I think I would make a good traitor because I look like such a faithful. I don't think people think I'm very mischievous, but I think that shows that I'd really be good at it. So, I think my game plan is to let people believe those preconceptions of me. I'm blonde and I've got the dimples, and I work with animals and I'm sweet." She added, "But there is a bit of an edge to me, and it's an edge that has actually been carved out by my career, by veterinary nursing, because it is so tough. It's really difficult, there are a lot of emotional tolls and there's a lot of adapting to environments, stress, long hours, everything. The Traitors is a psychological pressure cooker, but I honestly do think you could apply that to working at the vets, you really could." Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages. "I think I'm pretty good at trusting my gut. If I felt something was off, I'm quite good at spotting that." Again, in veterinary nursing, quite a lot of the time if you're dealing with a client that is grieving or has faced some kind of emotional toll, a lot of the time they're not actually telling you, you're reading it off someone's face, You're reading it off their body language. I think I'm quite good at that, so I think I'd be able to use this skill and try and determine if something is off. And on the competitors from last year, which saw Team Faithful win with Aaron, Hannah and Edinburgh-based Meryl taking home the grand prize of £101,050 between them, Evie had a few favourites she would like to follow in the footsteps of. She said, "I thought Wilfred was great. I know he got a lot of hate for backstabbing his fellow traitors, but I thought he was just brilliant. He really got it right in terms of understanding why you are there and understanding the premise of the game, and ultimately, that you're not there to make pals, although you probably are going to make friends, you're there to potentially win £120,000. He was outstanding and I really wanted Wilf to get it. I thought he was fab. I also really liked Meryl, she was so funny and just got through being totally clueless of who the traitors were even right until the very end." The Traitors returns on Wednesday 3 January from 9 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer, and episodes 2 and 3 will be available on iPlayer immediately after. The show will air on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday nights.